Would you like to work closer to home, save money on gas, and be rewarded for your hard work and attendance? Then Belicio Foods is looking for you. That's right, Belicio Foods is now hiring for multiple positions and shifts with great employee benefits, an on-site health clinic, competitive wages, and advancement opportunities. Belicio Foods is a company that truly values their employees. Apply online at beliciofoods.com/careers.
Nervous.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning show right here on Main Street TV, where I walked in this morning and went back to my 16-year-old self. And I'm in trouble, Mr. and Mrs.
Why are you in trouble?
Because I have to get myself together and practice proper etiquette, because Miss Alyce Smith is here in the studio, who, whether you think it's a good thing that I'm here or a bad thing that I'm here, is very integral part of me being here.
Yes.
Yes. So welcome.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Yes, it's very, very nice to have you and to see you here. And what I'm talking about is Miss Smith was a teacher for many, many years. A few years. We'll just say a few years.
Many is more accurate.
Many is more accurate. Jackson High School, and you did teach Spanish. You taught speech, amongst other things, and you were kind of the pioneer of getting Jackson way back when into having a little production class and all of that. Way back before it was cool.
Focus on Jackson High School.
Remember, and we used to air it right here. And it was, I don't remember, Channel 15 at the time or something of that nature. We used to air it. You all produced a show weekly, and it was so fun. The kids got to interview people within the school and all of that. And so it's so good to have you here today. We can reminisce a little bit. That's not why you're here, but we can certainly do that as well.
It was fun to do. They learned how to put the program together and talk, look at the camera.
Yes.
And me running around with this crazy camera on my shoulder, knocking people down.
They weren't little like they are now.
Oh,
They were these great big...
huge things.
Yes.
And
with VHS tapes in them.
Yes, yes.
That was a few years ago.
And your dad telling me each week, 15 minutes, Alyce, 15 minutes, no more. No more than 15 minutes. And there's no way you can get everything
and
in.
It was like an hour
minutes.
every time. That's okay. It's fun.
We did it. But we enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And kids, the students that you wouldn't think would do anything like that, enjoyed it more than the really...
The outgoing.
Right.
It's amazing how many little flowers there are that want to blossom if they're given the opportunity.
And they blossomed.
Yes.
Yes.
And I will say, and then we'll get on to what you're here to talk about, because it's very important.
Right.
But I will say that public speaking, and I think everybody knows this, is the number one fear of most human beings.
Yes.
And to have somebody like you in your younger years teaching etiquette and teaching the proper way to speak in front of a crowd and all of those things is invaluable.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, it is. And I say this a lot with the restaurant now, with hosts. I say, I don't know why it is that the world decided that 16-year-old girls should be hosts, because it's the hardest job in the restaurant. But you also learn those invaluable skills of public speaking, dealing with crowds, time management, all of the dealing with buttholes.
And what's the one thing they do when a person or a group of people walk in the door? That is a bad habit.
Oh, is it what you yelled at me the other day about?
Did I yell at you or just tell you?
Tell me. When they say you guys.
Hi, guys.
folks.
When ladies meet like me, make it to this age, and aging is not for sissies, let me tell you. It's painful. When we make it this far, we don't like to be called a guy.
I get that.
It's always nice. Well, good evening, ladies. Hello, folks. Well, welcome to our restaurant. We're glad to see you.
Exactly. See, listen to Miss Smith.
The hi guys is just a bad habit. That's all it is.
It is. It's something that we've picked up. So she's already gotten on me this morning, sweetly, about saying, you know.
And what did I say?
No, I don't know.
It's your job to tell me.
So this should be an interesting conversation, folks. That's okay. You correct me all day long. I don't
Okay.
mind.
Okay.
But we can talk about the speaking and teaching and all of that stuff here in a moment. But you are here to talk about something very, very important that's coming up. And
It's a group that I belong to.
Mhm.
It's called the Jackson County Heart Support Group. We work basically one large project each year to help people who are suffering with heart disease, and we recently started including cancer victims.
Okay.
And
There's enough of those, both.
yes, this dinner will be held this coming Monday, the 30th. Chicken noodles and all the trimmings that you can think of. We're sold out on tables and tickets and all of that. But if you stop by, you might be able to get a carry-out dinner, or you might be able to slip in on a table and sit down and have dinner with us.
There you go.
You might. I'm sure you could sit with me because my table's not full. It's wonderful. Everybody laughs and enjoys themselves. It's an evening of friendship and good things. The money that we earn at this dinner stays in Jackson County. It does not go to Columbus or any other city. It stays right here. And we do our research. You present a name to us to offer help to them, to help pay for medicines, or to give them gas money, gas cards, or to help buy food, or to get them someplace that they need to be or go. But we do our research to find out that it's an accurate request, a good request.
Sure.
In other words, we don't want to give Sally, Joe, Bob, John a $50 gift card to do something, and it's a con artist.
Absolutely not.
I mean, we're not.
There's enough people that are legitimate out there.
Yes.
That need help.
Right. We don't mean to sound like we're nasty people, because we're not. We go out and find out that it's real. And these people receive our help, and they come back and thank us. We have a little girl that comes to our committee meetings, and she was a recipient of some of our funding, and she is just praising us up and down because of what we did for her.
Mm-hmm.
And she's 12 or 13 now, I think. But she's a sweetheart, and because of what we did for her, she is coming back, and she's doing well. What else can I answer?
Oh my goodness. So I guess where is this located?
Where is what located?
The
dinner?
Dinner, yes.
The dinner will be at Christ Methodist Church in the
That's
Family
right.
Life Center. 6 o'clock. Ed Henderson is our auctioneer. There will be an auction of all sorts of items.
Can get some goodies.
Yes, good things. I mean, we're talking big items that they auction.
What would some of the items be? Can you think off the top of your head?
It's decorative items for the outside, inside, Christmas things, flower arrangements, some really nice stuff. Tricycles for kids, bicycles.
Or for adults.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. always used to be a big joke for Shirley Stover to be pushed around the dining room on one of those tricycles. And what else? They have what they call a matchbook.
Like
Game?
a raffle kind of thing.
Kind of a raffle, yeah. I was going to call it a game.
Those are fun.
They are. You buy an
Yeah.
arm length's worth of tickets or whatever, and or so many for $5, and then if you get you open them up, if you get a number, you get one of the prizes on the table over there that's
Yep.
got the same number on it. If you get a thank you, we thank you for donating.
It's a sweet way to say you lose.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think they're doing something else, but I'm not sure what it is.
Okay. And the whole point is to help local people keep the money local. And I've found that travel expenses, personally, from talking with folks, travel expenses are a huge problem.
Yes.
And if you can buy gas cards or things of that nature to help people out with their travel to get to treatments, it's life-changing.
Yes. At $3 a gallon for gas, yes, it's life-changing.
Sure. It's a lot.
Yes.
And plus, let's just be honest, you're taking off work, or if someone isn't able to drive, then someone else is taking off work to drive them, and so on and so forth. It's a vicious cycle.
And it trickles down as you go.
It does. And God forbid it be a child, as you talked about, and then you're talking about parents and other siblings and all of this. So it's really living in a small community. Here's what I'll say. I think one of the great things about living in a small community is the support that we give each other. And this is a perfect opportunity for you to go out and support your friends, your neighbors, loved ones you don't know, maybe you even have.
Yes.
And it's just a good thing.
Mm-hmm. The thing that impresses me is the fact that all of the money is kept here in Jackson County.
Yeah, huge.
I don't foresee it ever being sent off to a national organization for research.
Sure.
And that's important to me. It says a
is.
lot. And one other item that I forgot about, Marilyn Beatty, and there's another lady that bakes pies for the auction. Those pies stand 3 to 4 inches high, and they look and smell outrageously good.
Mm-hmm.
And they go for high prices. I wanted one so bad. My purse, my pocketbook wouldn't even come close. And you know how some of these wealthier gentlemen will watch you and see if you really want that thing, and they'll go just $50 more just to make you cry.
I needed that pie.
And then they'll come over and hand it to you. But that's okay, because they got to pay the higher price.
Exactly. It's all for a good cause, right?
Exactly. It's fun. And you get to laugh, and you get to see people you haven't seen for a while. And if you know our sheriff, Ted Frazier, and
He's a hoot.
He is a hoot. And his wife, Dr. Alyce, she's just as funny.
Also a hoot.
Uh-huh. She's number one Alyce. I'm the other Alyce.
Oh, I never thought about it. Dueling Alyces. Oh my goodness.
It's so fun. It really is a nice evening.
Yes.
You go home feeling a lot better. You really do.
You do, and knowing you're helping. At the end of the day, we all go through our daily lives and routines, and pretty much every day is the same. And let's just be honest about it. And if you can do something that's fun and help out along the way, why wouldn't you do that?
Exactly. Do unto others as you would have them do to you.
Sure.
It's a way to live.
Sure. It is. It is. So you, as of now, the tickets may be sold out, but if you come to the door, there's a pretty good possibility that we can sneak you in. We'll smuggle you in.
See, we could probably smuggle you in.
We'll make it work. How's that?
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. So, heart disease is certainly very prevalent in our area, and I guess part of it is prevention would be nice before we have to have a banquet. But now that if it's already too far along, then here we are to help. But what are some of the things that make it so prevalent here in our area?
Our lifestyle,
Yeah,
diets.
move your butt.
Just basic lifestyles.
Why is that in Appalachia? I feel as if it's cultural.
Mm-hmm. The way we eat is probably the worst. We get overweight
Mm-hmm.
and then, but I didn't eat that much. Yes, you did.
If your butt gets bigger, you're eating too much. Like, that's how it goes.
And then again, it may not be eating too much. Your endocrine system could be messed up
Mm-hmm.
and causing the weight gain. There's several things,
Mm-hmm.
several factors that would cause it.
Sure.
The heart disease could be hereditary. Be sure you know CPR and know it correctly. Make sure your child's school has an AED and that somebody there knows how to use it.
You know, that is so true. And we actually are going to do a program here on CPR. We had it scheduled and then there was a conflict. But I think there's just been so many things in the news with football players and children passing away and all of this stuff that could have been prevented if somebody had known or was prevented because somebody did know CPR. It's a basic skill that we should all
Every one of
know.
us should know it. Yes.
And we all know the basics of it, but we don't really know.
We're afraid to do it once that happens in front of us.
Well, and here's the thing. So I had forgotten, it just made me think about it, that you worked on the EMS for many, many years. And I know that there are classes now where you can be trained and do all of that. And it's interesting, though, because I believe human beings, there's two human beings, ones that run to the fire and ones that run from the fire. And you don't know what you are until you're faced with that situation.
Uh-huh.
So the least you could do is get trained.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe something will kick in and you'll run to the fire.
A few years ago.
That's a pun, not a literal.
A few years ago, young man, we were sitting in the gymnasium at baccalaureate.
Uh-huh.
All of a sudden, I felt this hand on my shoulder. This young man said, "Alyce?" I said, "Yes, what's wrong?" "There's something terribly wrong. And I think you better do something fast." And I'm thinking, oh
no.
Exactly. And I turned around and looked, and his facial color was really bad. His eyes told me he was really bad. And I knew I had to do something. I told one of the kids in front of me, I said, "Go get one of the administrators to get the wheelchair out of the office."
Uh-huh.
And I said, "Call 911
Mm-hmm.
and listen to what I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them I need an ambulance, a medic, and an ambulance here now. Not one from Wellston, not one from Oak Hill, but one from Jackson.
One from here.
Now.
Yes.
Not 10, 20 minutes from now. Now."
Yes.
And I had to do something that wasn't really supposed to do, but I had to get him out of there.
Sure.
And of course, the wheelchair was locked up, and they had to get that on. And I just calmly walked him across the floor, had some help. Oh my, he was having a massive MI. It's a heart attack.
Oh, okay.
Myocardial infarction is the
Infarction, yeah.
same term as heart attack. About the time I got him outside, the ambulance came up the hill.
Great.
Yes, great. Because I was afraid they would have to send me, as busy as they had been that day, I was afraid they would have to send me somebody from out of town.
Yep.
But we got one. He was flown to Columbus, and he's now doing better. He's
Good.
still alive and doing better. And he calls me the lifesaver.
Aw.
People say, well, why would you want to do something like that? I said, because you have helped somebody and made their life better.
Yeah.
They don't understand that.
Oh gosh. I can't imagine why you would ask that question.
Yeah. And the helicopters went over the other night. 2 helicopters left Holzer at the same time, about the same time. And I sat there and cried because I wanted to be on it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it were just to hand a roll of tape to somebody on that helicopter, I would have helped to do something.
Mm-hmm. Do you think that's just born within you?
I don't know.
I don't know either, but I do know that there are people that run to the fire and people that run from the fire. And it doesn't make you bad one way or the other. It's just there are people that were born to help and handle emergency situations. Some people melt.
I run into the fire.
Sure.
I do.
And
it's just like down at the high school, whenever there were fights, you could see the men running. Bye, guys. Who broke up the fights?
All 95 pounds of you.
Yep.
No, well, other than girl fights. And girl fights, you just... they get mean.
Yeah, they do.
Boy fights are way more docile than girl fights.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you are exactly right. And I think that they're just humans that are meant to help in emergency situations.
We need to understand what a heart attack, what the symptoms are. We need to know
Excuse me.
CPR.
Mm-hmm.
And we need to know the stroke symptoms, signs and symptoms.
Sure.
Those two are hand in hand. But this heart association, this heart support group, is one of the finest groups or clubs, if you want to call it that,
Sure,
that I have ever been a part of. These ladies, there are 12 of us. These ladies work. Every one of them is a professional person. And these ladies work and keep this thing going. And I'm so proud to be a part of it. And Monday night, I really can't wait to get here so I can have some chicken and noodles.
Oh my goodness.
And sit down and talk to these people and just enjoy it.
Absolutely.
I hope to see a lot of you folks from town at that dinner. And hope to see you there.
Monday night?
Monday night,
it's possible.
6 o'clock.
Okay.
All right.
Don't mess with Alyce. I'm telling you. 16-year-old self is coming back. I found an article. I don't even know where it was. Oh, yes. I was looking through old pictures because somebody wanted a particular picture of Dad that I was trying to find. And I found a picture. So this lady taught speech and Spanish.
Uh-huh.
So thank you for both.
You're welcome.
I'm one of those weird people that actually loved learning a foreign language. Wish I kept it up because if you don't use it, you lose it. But you do retain some. But I found an article that was in the paper, and probably Pete Wilson did it. I don't know. When I brought my horse to speech class.
Yes.
Do you remember that?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Because, and I think we had to do a speech about just to teach somebody something.
Demonstration speech. You
Yeah.
were teaching them something about it, and you were nose to nose with the horse, weren't you? Yeah.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
That's how I spent most of my childhood. But yeah, I found that article that somebody had written, and we had gone on down basically to the high school hill where the high school hill is now. There was an open field, and taught the kids how to saddle the horse and some of that stuff. So I thought of you because I had found that article, and I was like, oh my gosh, that was a few years ago. Yes, very, very much. So what was while you're here and I have you all to myself, what was your favorite part of teaching? Because you taught several different aspects.
Seeing students succeed at something they thought they couldn't do. Just that twinkle in their eye and the smile that would come across their face.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody at home had told them they couldn't do it. You'll never be able to do that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then come to school and do it.
Sure. That's amazing. And to think that you had a little part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. So how did you learn, or how did you become a Spanish teacher?
I had an excellent high school teacher.
Was that something that you've always been interested in?
Mm-hmm.
Because let's be honest, back then when I was in school, learning a foreign language was something that you basically were kind of forced to do. But I don't feel as if we all traveled and got out and about the way that we would today. So it was you were kind of ahead of your time, I feel like.
Well, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I just enjoyed it. I liked it.
And
I still have contact with my teacher from Capitol.
Do you?
You remember Robert Hatton?
No. So because of you, I didn't have to take foreign language when I went to Capitol.
Well,
See?
okay.
And because of Mrs. Becky Kite, I didn't have to take math at Capitol.
Good.
I'm going to give her shout out.
Good.
For that too.
Good.
I took a test and they said, "What are you? Just be gone with you."
Wonderful.
And I will give her credit for all of that.
That's wonderful.
But yeah, no, I had taken so much Spanish in high school. They were like, no, you're good. You're fine. So, do you ever get to travel anywhere where you get to practice your Spanish?
Once in a while, when Mother was still living, we'd go on cruises and I'd use it.
Yeah.
I watched that crazy, the Learning Channel, the 90-day fiance type thing, romance.
Oh gosh, yes.
It's trash, but
it is. It's like a train wreck. You can't turn away.
It's they use the Spanish, and I can understand it.
Okay.
That amazes me after being retired for 20 years.
Sure.
I still can understand it.
That's amazing.
So
that's great. We should have you dust off your textbooks and we should start a Spanish class.
Oh, I don't think so.
No?
No. Speech class, I would.
So we were laughing about you guys and and all of those things, but as time goes on, we all get a bit sloppy. Mm-hmm. And that's Appalachia too.
Yes.
Part of it.
Yes.
Our vernacular is a bit different than some. But what are some of the other things that you see that we do here that annoy you?
The worst thing is when we hear the morning news and the noon news and the evening news and the obituaries, how they butcher people's names.
Mm-hmm. Names are
If they can't say the name, there's certainly somebody still in the office
mm-hmm.
that has lived here forever that knows how to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Go ask them before you make a fool of yourself.
Mm-hmm. Hey, we've all been there.
There was a dispatcher on the police scanner a couple of weeks ago. Boy, she butchered the name Icenoggle. She called it Icenackle.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah. She really butchered it bad.
That's not an uncommon name around here.
No. And I heard in national news, no, she wasn't national. She's off Channel 3.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa Feinstein, I think is her name.
She's very young.
Had the names, or the word, pardon me, subsidiary.
Mm-hmm.
Subsidiary.
Oh.
That's not that
Lisa.
hard.
No.
And she's smarter than that. Yeah. All she has to do is punch her device and say this word for me.
Yeah.
And what's the name of that? Tupelo, Mississippi.
Mm-hmm.
One of the national people called it Tupelo.
No.
Yes. I about vomited on that one.
Have you not heard of Tupelo honey? Hello. I get that. That would be tough.
Geography, 5th grade, Tupelo.
You know, and I think about that game show that they did with Jeff Foxworthy, the Are You Smarter Than a Fourth Grader? That was a very humbling show.
Yeah.
Because you're sitting there knowing that you learned that in the 4th grade or the 3rd grade or the whatever, and you can't remember it.
Yeah.
It's very humbling.
Yeah.
Because 4th graders know it, and we don't. Shame on us. I guess it's a need-to-know basis, but...
And something else that's bothering me about education. There's a school right out behind...
Hold that right up to you so they can hear you.
There's a school right out by my house, Westview.
Uh-huh.
And the kids get on the bus about 2:30, and they'll ride the bus up Beaver Pike.
Sure.
Not even half a mile to Carroll Avenue.
Which is where you still live, right?
Yeah. Little kids walk down the street. How's school today, Herbie? Oh, okay. What'd you learn today? Nothing. Tell me one thing you learned.
Mm-hmm.
Can't. Won't. Just refuses to.
Mm-hmm.
One of the three.
Which means, A, they didn't learn anything, which I doubt.
Yeah.
B, they haven't been taught to speak properly or to have that socialization.
Was there a learning environment created that day? Did they learn a spelling word?
Right. I learned how to spell gas station or something, I don't know.
They could have told me that. I would have been happy.
Sure.
Or they could have said, we had...
What is that? Is that a
Is
spider?
a spider. We
won't
had
eat much.
chili for lunch.
Right. I love pizza. We had pizza for lunch.
I hate pizza.
We won't hold that against you.
Okay. But do not allow this town to put another pizza shop in, please. Oh. They could have told me the bus picked us up 3 minutes early today.
Sure. I liked it when you were over there.
Keep going. Samson the spider.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just stay right there, buddy.
And they can't do it.
It's interesting. Pet peeves of the world. And I just think, again, it's cultural. From the restaurant owner's standpoint or a restaurant worker standpoint, not even owner. Hi, how are you all doing today?
Mhm.
I have your cheeseburger here. Or, um, did you have the cheeseburger or did you have the whatever? I don't know I can't remember what I ordered.
Yeah.
Like they're just checked out.
I wonder if they took any statistics during the Apple Festival. How many people fell down because they tripped over wires or tripped over a piece of cement that was
Agreed.
cement
Face first
and slapped face
Yep.
first on the ground
because of phones.
because of the phones. If we took all the phones away from people for 24 hours, we'd have probably 6,000 people in the Athens mental health facility.
It's a thing. It amazes me, and I'm not making fun. I mean, you do you, Boo.
Yeah.
Like whatever you want to do.
Exactly.
But it is amazing to me the amount of people that come in, get on their phone, and they're with their husband or wife, and they play games and don't talk to each other.
Exactly.
Like what? What are you doing?
We went to Myrtle Beach the last time, and a lawyer was with us.
Uh-huh.
We went to one of those buffet things
The seafood buffet.
Yes.
Big old things.
that rip you off.
Uh,
And I thought, well, maybe it's important. Maybe it's a client that needs her
sure,
assistance.
and you understand that.
And okay. So the rest of us are talking, and a couple others at the upper end of the table were still. I said, how's the weather down there? I don't know. Do you know how the weather is? Okay. Yeah. Will you talk to me? No. So the old girl's still going after it. And I said, well, I guess we're just so boring that nobody wants to talk to us. All they want to do is play with the phones. And then I got upset and I used some bad words.
No.
Yes.
You did.
Yes. I said,
Oh.
put the darn phones
She
down.
didn't say darn.
No, I said the other word. I said, put the phones down. We're going to eat and we're going to talk to each other. Why did we come on this vacation? You can do all that stuff at home.
Mm-hmm. Did they?
Yeah.
Mm.
She wasn't happy, but I said, I thought you were talking to a client or texting a client.
Sure.
No, I'm just texting.
It's a problem.
Yes.
And so here, you learn little tricks and tips along the way. People laugh at me because I walk to tables and I always say, instead of everything good for you, I ask an open-ended question and I force people to answer me.
What's the question?
Doesn't matter.
Could be anything.
It could be anything. How is that burger tasting today?
Well, that's good.
They have to answer that. You can't say yes or no to that.
I'm going to check Monday night and see how many people have their phones out.
It'll be a thing. It's going to be a thing. But whatever. And I don't know. I guess I'm kind of stuck in between the no phone generation and the phone generation and the no computer. People don't understand, like Adrian here, for example, do you know what? I didn't have a computer in college. They didn't exist. Hey, guess what? I didn't have a cell phone in college. They didn't exist. Well, they did. But
I didn't either.
Nobody had a cell phone when I was in college.
I had a computer in graduate school, but it looked like a monster.
It was the size of this room.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the funny thing is, we all still got together and we all went to parties and we all went shopping and we all hung out, and I don't know how we arranged it. I can't tell you.
But we had
But
more
we
than
did it.
we had more than Walmart to go shopping
Oh,
to.
that's true. That is true.
Now we don't have anything but Walmart.
Yeah, I know. Which is good if you need something that's at Walmart, I guess, but
I refuse to go. I mean, I like it. It's good, but
it's convenient.
I'm just tired of that's the only thing we've got.
Well, I love the fact that there are the trend toward mom and pop, whether it be shopping, restaurants, cell phone repair, whatever it may be, those things, that trend is headed toward the individual, not big chains. That does my heart good a bit.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with any of it. It's all, it takes a lot to make the world go round. But it sure is nice when the little guy gets to get in there too.
Yeah. And it would be very boring if everybody went to the same place,
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
Yep.
If everybody ate the same thing, everybody wore the same thing. It's just you gotta do your own thing.
Yeah, you be you.
Yeah.
I think one of the coolest things, and I always say I'm going to do it, and I never do, and shame on me for doing this, but one of my niece's best friends, she posted something the first of the year, and it was numerous years ago now. And I thought this was the coolest idea ever, and it would be so easy if you just planned it out. She documented for a whole year. Every month she did something she hadn't ever done before.
Wouldn't that
So
be
that's
something?
12 things. It's
Yeah.
just 12 things. And she documented it. And I think one of them was skydiving, but you don't have to do that. It doesn't have to be that extreme. It could be learn 10 Spanish words in a month. It could be anything. But she had documented it and put it all together in one post. And I thought, what a fun, cool thing. Challenge yourself just a little bit and do something that you haven't done. One thing a month. That's 12.
That's wonderful.
Why don't we all do that?
I'd like that.
Yeah,
I think I'm going to use that this year.
there you go. So you can start in now. What month are we even in? September. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
It's come quickly. Jamie said yesterday, he said, I feel like September has been 2 days. And I said, I know. September just, phew. But I think you get the Apple Festival in the middle of things. We had a vacation in there too, and it just disappeared quickly. So, well, I'll tell you, Miss Smith, it's been so fun hanging out with you today.
Any more questions about this?
Well, I would like for you to just go overview of the Heart Dinner again, please.
The Jackson County Heart Support Group will have their annual dinner Monday, September 30th, 6 o'clock. The doors open. And what money we make will be used to help people here in Jackson. It stays in the county to help people with their expenses as they fight these horrendous diseases with their heart problems, some cancer patients. And all you have to do is ask one of the members, present your situation, let us know about it. We investigate, see what we have, come up with some answers for you. And yay or nay, you're on your way. And it's a nice evening. If you have tickets, don't let it get by you.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful evening, a lot of good people. You'll do a lot of laughing.
And chicken and noodles.
Chicken and noodles are excellent. And I hope you have a good time and hope you enjoy yourselves. And thank you for having me, Jennifer. I appreciate it.
Well, it's always my pleasure to see you. And I thank you for putting up with me for so many years.
Well, You weren't hard to put up with.
I appreciate you saying that. I'll give you the money after the show.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, I don't believe that you would say that if you didn't mean it, because I know how you are. You would tell me I was a pistol if I was.
You're right there. I don't blow smoke. I tell it like it is.
Yes, she does. All right. Well, Jeremiah is in the house, so let's hear from our friends at Benton County Bank, and then we'll be back on the other side to do some news.
At Benton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Benton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
Oh,
we're back. That was quick.
Thank you.
See ya.
And yes, Miss Smith, thank you so much. All right, Jeremiah is here. We talked a little bit about some of the things. You'll go left out of here. Yes.
Okay, thank
Yep.
you.
I know it's a maze.
It is a maze.
You want to help her, Adrian? Okay.
All right, I'll find it.
Okay. We are. So we were talking about some news yesterday of different buildings, different things, and you said you had some more news today about that.
Yeah, so this is kind of part two. We talked a little bit about the Louis yesterday, and then today.
Our spider friend is still here,
Weird.
but I don't kill God's creatures.
What is it?
Our spider friend, he's been here.
Oh,
He's
been all over.
He's over there now.
Little jumping spider?
I don't. If that thing jumps, I may kill God's creatures. I'm just telling you.
I just seen it like duck over there, so I don't know.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'll keep an eye on it.
Okay. So part two of my story was published on the front page of today's edition of the Telegram, and it talks about state funding that the Jackson Memorial Building
Mhm.
is going to be receiving that could help preserve it for the future. It's only part of what they need to get it there, and we got some pictures here we can show, and I can talk a little bit more about it. So here's some of the concerns. This isn't all the concerns, but a lot of the masonry for the memorial building, as you can see in this picture, is cracked.
Mhm.
And just doing a walk around of the building, you can see all the various cracks in the building, such as this one.
Which is something you don't notice unless you're really
Looking for it, yeah. So that's one. Go ahead and flip to something else. Here's another
Oh my.
another concern. So this is below the staircase at the memorial building on the
Oh.
underside. I didn't know this was here. And apparently the doors there to the right is where the utility office used to be
Yes.
at one point in
Uh-huh.
time. And they had to be moved out and moved to where they are now, I guess, because of the concerns with that, where
Sure.
some of that has fallen there. And what else you got, Adrian? Is that it?
Yeah, damage wise, that's
Okay, go ahead and throw some of the other pictures up, because we're talking all memorial building. So here is Jackson Mayor Randy Evans,
Mhm.
along with Ohio Speaker of the House Jason Stevens,
Mhm.
and he came down to Jackson County on Friday, September 13th, to get tours of the memorial building and the Louis. So this is them on the tour, and Randy was pointing out some of the different cracks and stuff in the masonry. We had gone upstairs. I don't think we have any pictures of that, but upstairs there was a lot of damage upstairs. It's not even used. The second floor of the building
Right.
used to be utilized by the auditor's office, I think. Is that right?
Oh, I don't know. I just remember being in the Legionette,
have it.
the American Legion, and our
Yes.
little baton group practiced up there.
Yeah, so it's Evans's dream to eventually bring back many of the city offices to the Jackson Memorial Building. The building used to be home to the Jackson Auditor's Office, which used to be
Mhm.
on the second floor, as well as the Jackson Utility Office, which was in the basement.
Uh-huh.
And both of those offices were forced out many years ago due to the deteriorating conditions.
Mhm.
The only thing that's in the building now is the mayor's office,
Mhm.
along with code enforcement, and they're all on the first floor.
Sure.
So everything else is, currently not used. And a little bit about the money they received there for the memorial building. It was $2.5 million they received, and it was through the one-time Strategic Community Investment Fund, and that's a part of, like we talked about yesterday, Ohio's capital budget. And the reason Stevens was down, he was a part of getting that money, through, I guess. And they talked about the Jackson Memorial Building. Randy wants to rehab it. He said it's in pretty bad shape, and he said that they had initially applied for $5 million through that Ohio Appalachia Community Grant Program.
Okay.
And as we know, all that money's been distributed, and the memorial building was not one of those projects to receive funding. And but the city was successful to get at least half of what they had requested through the state allocations.
Okay.
And according to Evans, numerous issues from the deteriorating masonry outside the building to there's even, I guess, problems with the roof. Needs probably a new roof. And there's issues with the ceiling, the walls on the second floor. Have apparent water damage. Because you have problems with the roof, water's going to get in. You're going to have issues upstairs.
Sure.
And it's still Evans's goal to save that building. The Jackson Memorial Building was built in 1936 by the Works Progress Administration, so the WPA, and it was President Franklin Roosevelt that created the WPA with an executive order on May 6, 1935, and it was a part of Roosevelt's New Deal plan to lift the country out of the Great Depression by reforming the financial system and restoring the economy to pre-depression levels. So that's a little history about the building. So like I said yesterday, the Louis and this building date back to that Great Depression era back in the 30s. And they're still standing today, so that tells you something there. They just need a little TLC. But Evans said that the $2.5 million will go hopefully a long way to getting that project started. Right now, what is happening is they have a firm. It's on my next page. They have a firm, let's see, out of Athens that's doing a feasibility study.
Okay.
And he's hoping that they'll get that study back this year, and then they can start taking steps towards what they're going to do with the building. But he definitely wants to, whether it's remodel or kind of rebuild. That's what they got to find out.
That's what a feasibility study is all about,
right?
Is to figure out what's the best route to take.
The next steps there.
Sure.
So a little bit about that. Have the complete story on it's today's edition of the Telegram. There's a couple pictures, and I do have a video that at some point when I can have the opportunity to sit down and put it together, maybe we can bring it back and show you guys.
Absolutely.
So you guys can see some of the video footage of those buildings. So today is Wednesday, September 25th, and I wanted to mention the Ladies' Prayer Tea will be held, well, it's going on now. I thought it was later in the day. It will be held until 11 o'clock. It started at 9:30, so you're just a little late at the Grace Church of Jackson. It says good food and fellowship will be offered, and all ladies are invited to attend that. Tomorrow, Thursday, September 26th, there will be the Board of David Brooks Jones Endowment of the Arts Fund meeting, and that's at 1 p.m. at the Jackson Mayor's Office. That's 145 Broadway Street. And it says applications for funding assistance for youth art programs may be picked up at the Mayor's Office. And you have to, well, you had to return them yesterday. So I'm just giving you bad news today. I'm sorry. Maybe I should have went over this on Monday, because today is Wednesday, right?
Yes.
Okay, my days are running together.
I know.
I looked at the calendar and realized, October's next week.
I know.
And then I start having a little meltdown because I'm like, we only have 3 months left in the year, and here, I'm losing it, losing it a little bit here.
I feel you, brother.
Now I know this is still good. So the 19th, the 19th annual Oak Hill. The spider's still running around, Jen. He's down on
I'm glad he's on your side.
He's down
not
on
mine.
my end of the table now. Maybe we bring him down to you.
No.
Okay. The 19th annual Oak Hill Band Show will be held Saturday evening, September 28th at Davis Stadium on the Oak Hill High School campus. The event will feature high school bands from Jackson, South Webster, Clay, Piketon, and the 95th edition of the Marching Oaks. So the gates will open at 6 p.m. There will be a parade of bands at 6:50 p.m. and the show will begin at 7 p.m. There are pre-sale tickets available through Friday, September 27th, and you can get on the Oak Hill School website, and there should be a link there that takes you to the ticketing site. Pre-sale tickets are $8 for adults, $5 for students, and tickets at the gate are going to cost you a little more because you didn't get them on the pre-sale.
Get the pre-sale.
So tickets at the gate will be $10 for adults, but it's the same price for students at $5.
Awesome.
So that's a pretty interesting. I've been to that a number of times over the years.
Those band shows are so fun.
They are neat because you get to hear the band and see the band at halftime during football. But this is like a complete show showcasing all those programs that they spend all that time.
That's right.
Putting together. Wanted to mention the Jackson Family Activity Center, formerly the Jackson Area YMCA, will conduct a meeting at 6 p.m. on Monday, September 30th, to update members on its ongoing reorganization efforts. So this is a members-only meeting. It's not open to the public. And just to kind of remind people, people may be hearing this for the first time, what happened to the Y? Well, effective August 26th, the local organization disaffiliated from the National YUSA. And after it was determined the change would allow it to operate independently to best meet the needs of the community and provide desired services and make the most of its resources. And they had put that out in a news release, like I said, on August 26th, so just this past month. And they talked about how the Jackson Area YMCA had been operating under significant financial strain for years due to the rising operation cost. And they said they determined it was necessary to disaffiliate. But the board's leadership pledged to provide updates as they navigate their way through this reorganization process.
Sure.
And once again, that meeting for members is September 30th, and it's not open to the public. So not to that point yet,
Okay.
I guess. But if you are still a member and have a membership, be sure to go check that out.
Okay.
So
Fair.
got a couple of minutes here. We're getting into October, and I wrote this yesterday. The Buckeye Furnace Fall Festival is coming up Saturday, October 5th, Jan.
That's always fun.
I always forget that it's the first Saturday in October, and it's hard to believe that that's coming up. I know sometimes
September disappeared.
you have those friends of Buckeye Furnace on here. Hopefully,
Yep.
I don't know if they're scheduled. Don't know if they're scheduled yet, but hopefully they'll get scheduled and come in. But it's the annual Buckeye Fall Festival, and it's held at the Buckeye Furnace State Memorial Site. And that festival will be held from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday, October 5th. And the Friends of Buckeye Furnace, which manages that site out there for the annual event, it's located 123 Buckeye Park Road in Milton Township near Wellston. The festival always features food and entertainment, as well as many vendors displaying and selling their products. I know usually there's like 40 or 50 vendors set up out there.
Really cool.
And there's usually a carnival style kid area where there's like games and prizes. There's usually do like
little
pumpkin,
contests,
like a pumpkin decorating,
crafts,
and a bunch of different stuff for the kids. And the legendary bluegrass band known as the Red Brush Band, we perform music all day, and you can't forget about Andy Milliken.
Yeah.
He'll be out there as well. I know the pair, those together, have been out there numerous years since they've had that out there. And there's just a number of different events. They'll have petting zoo, which is really cool out there. I think it was last year, the year before last, I had to go out to do some coverage, and I don't know if it was an alpaca or a llama, but it kept staring me down.
It was giving you the eye.
Giving me the eyes. So But anyway, during the festivities, in addition to all the activities and events and stuff, there's food. I already mentioned food, but you can also check out the furnace, which is a
Yeah.
reconstructed charcoal fire blast furnace. And it was one of many that operated here in the Southeast Ohio Hanging Rock Iron region. And there's also the Buckeye Furnace Office Museum. A lot of neat
Yes.
stuff in there, and they have a gift shop in there as well.
Yep.
That will all be open. So you can, if you want to learn more about the festival, you can pick up a future edition of the Telegram, or you can visit buckeyefurnace.org. And I believe they have a Facebook page maybe as well. And you can get on there and read a little more. They're still doing updates. So this was the latest information.
Great.
So, all right. I think that does it for me.
Well, very good. There's so much stuff going on, and it continues on, and then we're going to get into holiday stuff, and then it's just going to be, not to overwhelm you, Jeremiah, but
Yeah.
It is.
No, we're through all the overwhelming stuff. The
For now.
festivals and fairs and
for now.
yeah. So the last few months of the year is usually not too bad. I mean, you
Yeah.
have your highlights, your
Sure.
Halloween stuff, and then and you
Holiday
always
stuff.
election in November, and then you get into December, and then you have your Christmas parades and stuff that all kick off the beginning of the month, and then your various displays throughout the month. And
Sure.
so, but yeah, that'll all be here. Hopefully, maybe I can put together another hour show like I did last year of me touring all the different places and
That'd be
going through the
cool.
trees.
Love that.
Did that last year. Got rained on.
Yes,
One
you
of them, I don't
did.
know if you remember, but it was pouring the rain.
It
I'm out there with an
was.
umbrella, and I'm like yelling, "This tree was sponsored by."
It was a lot.
So hopefully the
Definitely.
weather's good. So anyhow,
Well, cool. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for tuning in, and thank you to Miss Alyce Smith for stopping by talking about the Heart Dinner this coming Monday. So we will be back tomorrow. So thank you so much, and we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
From breaking news to heartwarming stories, the Telegram is your ticket to the latest buzz in town.
read your daily dose of local headlines, sports, and entertainment and more in hand and on paper.
Get a print and digital subscription for only $7.95 per month. Delivered fresh every Wednesday and Saturday.
Visit thetelegramnews.com or call 740-286-3023 today.
Don't just read the news, be a part of it.